Sorry for the awkward silence.
So I know many of you saw that video, and I want to address some things really fast. First off, I did not lie in that video.
So this popped up on my For You page today, and it kind of bummed me out. Teddy made a video about how he likes some guys with some bellies, and the response from what it seems to be like a lot of his viewers was to doubt that. As if it's impossible for somebody who conforms to the beauty standard in a certain kind of way to be attracted to those who don't conform to the beauty standard in certain kinds of ways. And I think that this assumption needs to be put to rest. So much of human history has been humans realizing that they miss out on a lot when they segregate. When it comes to the dating market, this is no less true. The entire concept of leagues is just so archaic, and it prevents people who would have beautiful chemistry with each other from ever taking a chance with being with each other. And I don't mean to minimize the sorts of hardships that bigger guys in the gay community face. Trust me, I feel you, it's hard out here. But I can also tell you with 100% confidence that people find me sexy. Some people don't, but some people do. And there have been people with very much decidedly not my body type who have found me sexy. And I think it's dope to live in a world where we can fall in love with people who are completely unlike us, who can broaden our horizons and enrich our perspectives. So Teddy, I believe you, and I think that it's dope that you're normalizing liking everyone. We should all strive for that sort of open-mindedness, and drop the defensiveness when conventionally attractive people profess that they're attracted to us. Yes, it's possible that they find us sexy. Don't act so surprised.
So this isn't a stupid video, but I do think he came to the wrong conclusion, and I feel like he came to that conclusion because he's looking at it through the lens of, oh, everybody hates fat people. So why were people questioning this guy's attraction towards chubby men? I spend quite a bit of time on TikTok, and one thing I've noticed is there's a trend where someone who is viewed as conventionally attractive will gas up a group of people who's not viewed as conventionally attractive, and they'll do this in order to gain a following. For example, we have videos where white dudes will show black women appreciation, and when you check the following list, there's hardly a black woman in sight. So when people see videos like this, they question the authenticity of it, not because, oh, it's impossible for a conventionally attractive person to be attracted to someone who isn't conventionally attractive, but they question it because it's a common tactic used by people to gain a following. In the words of a great poet, Offset,
they do anything for clout.
Now you may be asking, hey, HF, what makes your conjecture any better than his? Well, the very first comment that calls this into question tagged the TikToker Yitties, who just so happens to have an entire series of videos dedicated to people who show big men and women love just for the likes. One more thing I want to focus on is what you said about people getting rid of their biases when it comes to developing relationships. You could develop a great relationship with a fat person as a friend, but forcing yourself to date someone who you just aren't physically attracted to is a recipe for disaster for both parties involved.
Look, I know it's almost the new year and this is when people get really fat phobic and down on themselves, so here's your reminder that you don't need to lose weight for the new year. You don't. And anybody that tells you differently needs to get a pie thrown in their face.
You ever stop to think making videos like this might be discouraging to people who have difficulties caused by excess weight and therefore want to set a goal to improve their lives? No? Like, did you just not consider that? Okay.
Something I find like an absolute mindfuck about fat phobia is, to me, it is basically saying that the bigger your body is, the less value you hold in this world. So the more space you take up, the less you matter, is essentially what I like internalize it as. Let's just repeat that. The more space you take up in this world, the less your life is valued. And that is just beyond fucked up. What is with this bullshit?
I can guarantee no one has said this to her. I don't know who is telling these people that fat bodies are less valuable. They're not. Human beings are not products. What is true is that a fat body has higher risk of disease, a higher risk of mortality, and decreased mobility when compared to a normal weight body. This is just a fact. If that means to you that a fat body is less valuable, fine.
You can't have that cookie, Elmo. Rocco wants
Second video in a row where a fat activist totally misunderstands what people are saying. You don't have to hate your fat body. I encourage you to love yourself. And part of loving yourself is self-care. And part of self-care is ensuring your life doesn't include too many avoidable inconveniences such as those caused by being fat.
Crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist body. Crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist body. Yada 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 yada. How I body that? Ate it up and gave it back. Here you look.
First of all, Marissa, if you ever dance again, I'll see you in court. Secondly, who the fuck said fat people owe them anything? This is the third video in a row of a fat activist arguing against things no one has fucking said. Does it not get tiring knocking down all those straw men?
I gotta think of a way to get this money by tomorrow. I gotta think of a way to get this money by tomorrow.
So originally I was going to leave this video alone, but the caption to this video was, "Let's discuss fat phobia in doctors." And that just baffled me. If your doctor tells you you have diabetes and you happen to be fat, it's not fat phobia. It means you have fucking diabetes.
If you're someone that says, I'm afraid to gain weight, what are you actually afraid of? Do you believe you have to be skinny to find the perfect job, partner, friends, happiness, and so forth? This is called fat phobia. We all have it, including me.
Nope. I just don't want to deal with the health and mobility consequences associated with obesity. That's it.
Generally speaking, there's three kind of big buckets of reasons why someone might engage in intentional weight loss. First is desirability, second, health, third, stigma. But at the end of the day, all of those are rooted in fat phobia in different ways, and I'll explain. First, desirability. That is kind of the most obvious when it comes to fat phobia. We currently live in a society that uplifts thinness, able-bodiedness, whiteness, cisness, and heterosexuality as the things that are most desirable. And so if you are wanting to lose weight in order to become more desirable, you are upholding a fat-phobic beauty standard, as well as, white supremacy knowledge is. So next is health. What we know is that weight is not a good indicator of someone's health, and also your health is not an indicator of your worth. You can have health and body-related goals for yourself that are not about fat phobia and not about weight loss. So let me give you an example. You might decide that you have a goal of hiking a particular mountain in your area. Now, you would be engaging in different types of movement in order to achieve that goal. You may or may not lose weight in doing that. And in fact, there's lots of fat mountaineers and hikers.
I'm going to focus on the second point that she made because I feel like up to this point, this video has not had enough research. So let's get into some of the studies that establish why weight loss should be a very important thing to some people. Taylor's and others, 2021, discussed how weight maintenance after weight loss not only put diabetes into remission for diabetics, but completely restored beta cell function. If you're a fat activist, you may be asking, was it the weight loss or was it the habits they picked up? Well, the study cites a 2011 study in which a liquid diet was used to achieve the weight loss, and, as expected, diabetes still remitted. So it wasn't the habit, it was definitely the weight loss. A 2019 Brazilian study included over 4,800 individuals diagnosed with hypertension found that remission was associated with a reduction in adiposity, whether that was done through bariatric surgery or conventional weight loss methods. Now, as for your point that there's fat people who climb mountains and whatnot, fantastic. Are they doing it as well as someone who isn't fat, though? I remember Reagan Chastain making a similar argument and even used the fact that she finished a marathon to make her point. What she didn't mention was that when she competed in the Seattle Marathon, her time was 12 hours and 20 minutes. To show you just how bad that is, I'm going to introduce you to Margaret Haggerty, who completed the New York City Marathon in 9 hours and 54 minutes at the age of 91. This argument that old fat people can do all sorts of endurance activities is bullshit because it's clear they can't do it as well as someone who has a normal weight, and apparently they can't do it as well as someone who is literally older than sliced bread.